Hey, it is Coach Kinsey Shae here with Bobby Merwin, and today we're going to talk about resilience amidst the chaos and what it is,
yes,
why it's important, and a tool. So stay till the end and I'll walk you through a tool that you can use to help you to, really have that resilience, that window of resilience that are what the National Institute of Clinical Application for Behavioral Medicine, they say as the window of tolerance. So resilience, first off, what is resilience? A lot of people really look at resilience. I just always come up on top. Resilience isn't just, being on top.
I'm a survivor. I can make it through. I'm resilient.
Right. That is not
No,
what resilience is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's regulating your emotions. It's regulating your body. It's regulating the biases. It's having discernment in the application. A lot of people might say, well, I have trauma, or they might say, I'm just dealing with shit, but it might be trauma. Trauma is just when your body gets activated, when your nervous system gets activated, when you don't feel safe. Would you agree with that, Bobby? I'm roping you in this conversation.
I know. Oh, you mean I'm part of this? Oh, Jesus. Yes, no, like we were saying earlier, people think that resilience is, I keep going and I'm a survivor and I keep working and I keep striving. But no, everything that you were describing is exactly it. And when we were looking at that window of tolerance earlier, it was like, it just draws it out so good. So I can't wait to show that later.
Well, we can show it now because it's kind of it is... I invite people to take a screenshot so that when you get activated, when you get triggered, you can use this as a reference. So I'm just going to put it up for about 5-10 seconds and we'll just kind of deep dive into it.
Okay. Do it.
Do it. So take a screenshot.
Then put it off to the side.
Yes. So I like to look at the window of tolerance or resilience, I like to call it. You have a glass door. I like to look at it as a door because you can stand in it. So you want to stand in the frame of that glass door. And when you get dysregulated, when you get aroused.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. You want to do action. Sometimes your logical mind, your rational mind gets shut off because you're in an emotional state. Like you're just totally in that raw kind of amygdala. I see something to fight. Let's go. So you're stepping out into action, but it's not thought through action. So you're very dysregulated. You might feel angst, you might feel stress, you might feel anger, you might feel, and you want to do an action. So that's like stepping into the hyper arousal state where you're dysregulated. Now, bringing it back to when you're in that resilient state, that, the tolerance window, you're in that frame when you're so overwhelmed, you're inundated. Does it sound familiar, people? This last week, just overwhelmed?
There might be some stuff going on in the world.
There might be some stuff going on where you want to retract. You want to step back. You get dysregulated to the point where you just freeze. And that's just your nervous system trying to keep you safe. So this is all a point of, understanding those triggers. When you feel that angst and you want to be in action, you want to step out of that resilience window, right? And you want to, where you're not thinking in your logical mind, or when you're when you're backing, when you have that hypoarousal where you just want to retreat from everything. And with both of those, there is coping mechanisms that don't work. You know, if you're doing everything in excess, whether it be sleeping, whether it be shopping, whether it be, you know, drinking, whether it be sex, whatever that is for you, when it's in excess, that's when it's not a healthy coping mechanism. Does that make sense?
Yes. You know, we like to tease that, you know, there's too much of a good thing is never bad. And then you say, well, except for like money and sex. But no, it's true. If you are, you know, participating too much into one side of absolutely anything, then you're not balancing out like you're trying to say there. So.
Right. So quite often I've heard from a lot of people this week that, you know, there's on both spectrums. They're like, I have to do something. That have to do something feeling isn't bad. It's how you anchor it. Is it anchored in anger? Is it anchored in truly you want to help yourself and humanity? You know, when you retreat, is it you're just completely shutting down? Or is it you're grounding, you're actively working on yourself to ground down into the energy that might be around you? It might activate something. That's not initially bad. You can ebb and flow in these. This is awareness, my friends. Just knowing where you are and what your body needs. That keeps you consistently in the resilience window or the window of tolerance.
Which I'm just looking at because I've got the graph up as you're talking. So yeah, I'm doing what you said. Look at that.
I know. So I really wanted to talk. We've talked about this before, but I think it's an important time right now. There is a lot of angst. There is a lot of overwhelm. But when we have the awareness to really pinpoint where we are, to get us grounded back into that window of tolerance, getting us grounded back into our resilient state, that's our North Star. Being in that frame, in that window. And that can elevate what you see in this world. There's a statement also, it's called like motivational perception. And I really want people to understand that if you anchor to the negative, and this is very much a heart space, our heart space, that's my business, but our heart math, heart math principle, what you anchor to, whether it's replenishing or depleting, that is the vision that you're going to see. That's what you're going to see outside your window. So if you anchor to the love, the appreciation, the care, you're going to see the light in a different way than if you anchor to the depleting energy of this shit just always happens. Nothing I do is going to matter, so I'm not going to do anything type of mentality.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, with that, it's just really anchoring to that positive energy because, you know, our heart has mirror neurons and it doesn't know what reality is and what isn't. And if you, in your mind's eye, you want more peace, you want more unity, you want more community, all you have to do is envision and send that energy out, and energy attracts energy. So if you're really anchored to that perception of positive energy, anchored into really feel that energy. And I'm just going to take a moment and stick with me with this. After my car accident, I could have easily been connected into my circumstances. Meaning, they told me
Mhm.
that I might not ever walk again, that I might not have my arm. They didn't know how many surgeries I was going to have, and my life was changed forever. I could have anchored into the negative, had hate, spewed hate for the gentleman that hit me. But going to what we talked about yesterday or last week about forgiveness, I forgave him on the spot because I knew I needed all the positive energy to heal. I couldn't divert my energy with hate and the hope of getting better. I saw
Right.
myself walking. I saw myself using my left hand. I saw myself not my label of disabled, but as an empowered person that can get through anything. So I'm
Mhm.
really pressing upon circumstances you are not defined by. Really
Yep.
anchor to what you want to see in the world. We all
Yep.
have
And it's
core
something that I
values of
very much,
wanting to, yeah.
yeah, it's something that I very much admire about you. I mean, ever since the first time that we met, your, I'll use the word tenacity
Mm-hmm.
to, persevere. Um, I want to touch on a couple of things. One, you said something about mirror neurons in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's why we have heartache. That's why
Mm-hmm.
we have the feelings that we do, and we feel it in general areas that we do. And that's why we have gut feelings. Remember, we talked about that
Yep.
a
Yep.
while back. Um, when you start feeling those things, whether it be sadness, whether it be heartbreak, especially, think to yourself, this is how I'm going to feel right now. But I don't have to be anchored in to this feeling. I can
Right.
actually start to move and do other things and do other positive things to
Right.
try and get yourself out of it. Because if you're keeping yourself busy in a positive way, that's really going to help. And I love that you use the term anchored in. I just
Mm-hmm.
love that because people get rooted so hard into the negativity of their life, and they spew, and there's part of the graphic where it's a volcano. Like, yep,
Yeah.
I know a few people like that. And, I can't really reach out to them, but I do. I know a few people like that where it's like that is their modus operandi. That is how they want to live their life, is they want to just spew all of that. And I'm like, you get so
Yeah.
much better with positivity. I know that I have.
Yes. Yes. And it's not that they really want to, it's not really that that's how they want to live their life. That's all they know. That's all they know. And for people that
Hmm.
are watching this, that you're like, I just don't know how to be more positive. Well, each day is a
Right.
building block, my friends. The
Hmm.
first time I did gratitude and positivity and all of these things, I'm like, this effing shit is woo woo. What the hell am I doing? But everything that I was anchored to in my medical
Hmm.
background of being a nurse was not working. So
Right.
intuitively, I'm like, I'm willing to try anything because I am not defined by this label. I am not disabled. Like, not that it's a bad thing, but I was not anchored to the biased, judgmental view of that
Hmm.
term. You know what I mean?
I do.
And that's another topic. I mean, really take stock of your biases. Be aware of your biases. Be aware of your judgments because our ego is very much rooted into our past and what we have seen. But there's such a beautiful world out there that we don't know. We don't know people's struggles. We don't know what
Hmm.
people are going through. And if you're in this space where you're like, nobody understands, nobody checks in on me, well, you might be giving off a negative energy where people don't help. Because
Hmm.
I can tell you for sure when I was going through my 24 surgeries, all of my doctors, all of my physical therapists, my occupational therapists, they helped me. They helped me with equipment. They came on their days off to check on me because, and the number one reason, listen, my friends, the number one reason is we love how you're so positive and you have that go for type attitude. That was the number one thing. Like attracts like.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be poor me, this is miserable, I don't deserve this type of attitude, which is okay to feel initially. It's okay. I'm not saying it's negative. But if you live in that state, it's not surprising that people don't check on you, that people don't do the things you think they should do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm making that face right now because I'm trying not to be too revealing, but yes, I have somebody very much in my world right now where I just cannot get them out of this quagmire of muck.
Right.
With all of the knowledge, skills, and abilities that I have and the people around me have.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, they're stuck. Keep pulling and they're stuck. So
it's all of this, you know, why this is important is we can build such a better life for ourselves and for others when we live in our window of resilience or tolerance, however you want to say it. You might be like, okay, so what can I do when I feel that activation where I want to step out and just be, just be primal and act? Or, I just want to just crawl under the blankets and do nothing. First is awareness.
Yeah.
First is awareness and acknowledge. Be vulnerable with yourself. Like, okay, I feel this way. Why am I feeling what? I mean, do that 7-layer cake that I always talk about. Like, why am I feeling this way? Get to know yourself. And then understand at that why can be just a rabbit hole of distraction. So that's why I say 7. 7 is the magical number. Like 7 gives you enough opportunities to ask yourself to get to the root of the issue, but you have to be in action. So how can I manage this? How can I, you ask yourself how, and look through that replenishing lens, base that on your values of what you want to project in that world. We all have a version of the world that we want to see, and mine is very seeped into humanity and love and peace and unity and community. But there might be, okay, you're telling me all these things to do, the whys, the hows, the whatever, what the hell. But there is something that there's a lot of science with heart math that, a tool, it's simple. You can do it anywhere, any place. And it pretty much, I call it the 3 hearts, but it's a heart math technique. And it's pretty much, and I'll walk you through it at the end, but it's pretty much just 3 hearts. It's simple. If you remember 3 hearts, you'll remember it. Like ground down into your body, whether that's doing a body scan like we talked about a few episodes ago. Just really ground in. Focus. The first heart is focus on your heart space because you have to ground your energy somewhere. If And right. The second heart is just breathing in through your heart and out. And then the third heart is just really feel the energy of love and appreciation, gratitude. Now, love might be a trigger word for you, so don't use that word. But appreciation.
Oh, you weren't talking to me. Oh, thank God.
No. So, I mean, we can do a simple, kind of meditation if you want. Bobby, you want to do it?
Sure, we got about 8 minutes. Let's try that.
Okay. It won't take that long. It won't.
Right.
Yeah. So I invite you to put your feet on the ground, really ground into your body. Start from your head, and you can have your eyes closed or not. It's up to you. Just soften your gaze. Just really scan your body from your head. See what's tight and release. Put your hand on your heart when you get there. Just notice your surroundings and this space. Now take some nice deep breaths in and out. Breathe in and out through your heart. Now, while you're breathing, bring in that appreciation. Bring in that gratitude. Be present. I am so happy and grateful to be alive. I'm so happy and grateful to be here in this time and space. And just allow that energy. Whatever comes up for you is perfectly fine. And you can open your eyes when you feel right as we continue to talk. Just give yourself this time, this gift, that space. How you feel, Bobby?
I'm going to go take a nap.
But no, it's just pure, simple. You can do this. I'm going to link down. I went more into this in my TEDX that I did a few years ago. I'll link that in the description. So you can kind of learn a little bit more about me, about this process. And I just really want to give people the tools to really be resilient in life, to really open that window or door of tolerance or resilience. I like to call it resilience.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, so I think it was a good time and space because we often feel that we are alone. We have a tendency to believe that nobody cares. But you have the power within, and you have the tools to anchor to overcome everything in your life. And to really embrace the unity and community, because the world is a better place together.
Mm-hmm. Nicely said.
Yes.
That's quite a crescendo there. We should end on that. My God.
I know.
Yeah.
So, everyone, we appreciate you. We love you. And we hope that this is beneficial to you. Like I said, take that screenshot. That was directly from the National Institute of Clinical Application for Behavioral Health. So I want to put a shout out to them for putting those resources out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. It's important. And I mean, I love behavioral medicine. I you know, so I could geek out on that all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does hit your geek button for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I just kind of want to end on the note of no matter what you're doing this weekend, just know that we all are humanity and that we all have love in our hearts, and just anchor to that essence of peace and unity and community. And please be safe. Please be safe.
Make good decisions.
Yes.
Make wise decisions, please.
Yes. Be in those that window of resilience, that tolerance for yourself and for humanity. On that note.
And we will hope to see you all next week.
Yes. We will see you all next week. So like, subscribe, do all that fun jazz. Put your comments, what showed up when we went through the tool, what value. Any questions? We love questions. So we will. Yes. We will see you next week.
Sounds good. See you then, everybody.